Hello and welcome. I'm Debbie, and thank you so much for just spending a few moments with me today. Today, I've been thinking about change and what it actually means and how it might impact our lives. We are told that change is constant. Many have also told us that change is for the better. But is it? Is change always for the better? New Coke wasn't better. Moving the Oakland Raiders to LA and back to Oakland, then to Las Vegas wasn't necessarily for the better, at least for Oakland fans. Years ago, when I was teaching in Beaufort, South Carolina, the superintendent of schools was initiating huge changes to the school calendar. At a meeting held at the high school, which all staff attended, he dismissed the concerns expressed about the change. I finally decided to ask a question, more due to his dismissal of my friends and their concerns than an overwhelming concern on my part as I was leaving at the end of that school year. Is the change based on statistical and data-driven evidence that will best meet the educational objectives for our students, or is it change for the sake of change? Upon which the superintendent abruptly ended the meeting and left. Changes did not appear the next school year. Now, don't get me wrong. I do support change when it will improve an institution or an individual's life. But sometimes there is a perspective that all change is good. When is change for the better, and when does it actually set us back in our lives? In other words, are we as a society changing institutions, philosophies, religious teachings and practices, entertainment, the military, etc., due to evidence that will improve our nation and our lives, or are we changing for the sake of change? There is no easy answer, and I certainly do not have the answer. I just have a questioning mind. I do know that many are reluctant at times to make necessary changes. It is hard to end a relationship during which one has suffered. It is hard to leave a job, whether or not one has already acquired a new position. It is hard to see businesses and companies close, of which we were clients and consumers. It is hard to move to a new location and start the process of developing friendships and relationships. It is hard to change churches and other institutions of religious beliefs when the teachings no longer represent the biblical foundation of truth and faith. And yet, many times we are being led to change, adapt, and move forward. There are many instances in my own life that I knew God was leading me somewhere, and yet I dragged my feet the whole way. Even suffering severe stress to the point of having to go to the emergency room at the hospital. I was hesitant to pick up my life, leave my job, move across the country, and change. In the midst of change, though, how do we find stability and peace? In today's society, it seems that there are many changes occurring and that we are living in chaos and instability. Relationships end, people move, businesses shut down, inflation and recession are economic realities. Politics is ever more argumentative and seemingly growing even more extreme, with constant change appearing to create turmoil. Where is our peace and where is our stability? It is with God. As Malachi 3:6a states, I, the Lord, do not change. God is immutable, unchanging. His words, love, and yes, even wrath, are constant. He is the foundational stability and peace in the lives of his children, those who follow him. Change happens. Whether it is for the better or just for the sake of change, it happens in our lives. Not all change is good, nor is all change bad. But we should not just blindly change. We need to consider, pray, and decide if the changes we are facing are ones which we should adopt. Although the change to New Coke was a disaster, There are those who think that the Oakland Raiders moving to Las Vegas was a good change. Whatever. No matter what the changes we face may be, we are able to center our changes and adapt to those we should make because we know that God is constant. He is immutable and he does not change, even though sometimes society thinks he should. I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it.